First, Prince Harry today lost an appeal in the High Court. The runaway royal was challenging a 2020 decision from the Protection of Royalty and Public Figures, aka RAVEC, to downgrade his personal security when he visits the UK. The Duke of Sussex, however, remains entitled to bespoke protection, funded by the British taxpayer on a case-by-case basis. Now, a legal spokesman for Harry said after the ruling that they will appeal, adding, "The Duke is not asking for preferential treatment, but for a fair and lawful application of RAVEC's own rules, ensuring that he receives the same consideration as others in accordance with RAVEC's own written policy." Now, his legal case was fought in the British courts, so Harry remained stateside, publishing this charity cameo just hours after the ruling.
The World Child Awards is our chance to celebrate the extraordinary strength and spirit of young people with complex medical conditions from across the United Kingdom. Your involvement makes a huge difference, so please join us in celebrating the amazing superstars that will be recognised at the 2024 World Child Awards.
Well, I'm delighted to welcome former Royal Protection Officer Dai Davies. Dai, thank you very, very much. Now, apparently the legal challenge could cost the taxpayer £250,000. Should Harry just accept the Home Office decision, stop campaigning and accept that he probably is going to be safe on the streets of Britain, and if he isn't, he should pay for his own security?
Well, good evening. This has been rumbling on for 4 years, as you well know, and I think the cost, will exceed well over £500,000, if not £1 million by the time, if and when, he's allowed his appeal. And it is an if. As I understand the law, the judge has got to be mistaken in his summing up of 56 pages. I haven't read it all, but I do think it's time Harry got on with being Harry. As I always say, there's the truth and then there's Harry's version of the truth. I'm not quite sure why he's going on. I think, and the judge thinks, that he's been treated in accordance with the rules as set out by this committee called RAVEC. And again, I and the judge, and I agree, I don't think he's being treated any different to any other member of the royal family. And you have to consider that since I was doing the job, some 10 or more now don't get the 24-hour. I won't name them. The press have, but I won't. So he's being treated as somebody who's no longer a working royal. He lives most of his life. If and when he comes back to this country, a risk assessment will be carried out. And if there's an iota of intelligence or information that would indicate that he has a risk or he's perceived to be having a risk, then he will be afforded that security.
You mentioned a couple of things about Harry's truths there. Well, the Times rather helpfully published a pretty good guide today. So they said 7 claims Prince Harry was wrong about, according to the High Court. All right. Harry claimed the decision to stop his security was made in secret. High Court says that's not true. OK. Harry said he was considered an exceptional member of those covered by the Royal and VIP Executive Committee. Apparently that's just not really right either. Harry said that he was an exceptional individual whose circumstances meant he should have ongoing presence among the VIPs covered by security. Look, I could go on here, there's a lot of this, but basically the point is there are 7 things that the Times are saying Harry claimed in court that were found to be basically complete and utter tosh. Is this something that is a problem for Harry, though, seriously, which is that his truth is not the truth, and the truth is only thing that matters in court?
Well, yes, and every time he's been properly tested by a King's Counsel, as you rightly say, whenever he gives evidence in person, it seems to me that he's caught out. But he's also been caught out in his book and in parts of his appearances. You know, there is one truth to Harry, and I'm sure he believes it, or he's been taught to believe it. I wish I'd been born much cleverer and been a King's Counsel or a Queen's Counsel, and I could represent him. They must be making a fortune. I just wonder who's advising him to carry on with these. As I say, if he's on any kind of real royal business, he will get the protection. He will get it according to the rules in this country. RAVEC can't determine what happens in California, in Canada, or anywhere else. But I say again, for a man who wants total protection, he has a strange way of going about it.
Dai, I've just been told something, actually. Apparently, within the last 24 hours, New York police have decided that infamous Harry and Meghan Markle high-speed car chase, nicknamed the Fast and the Spurious, obviously, was actually, apparently, dangerous and reckless. Hey, look, is this not a visible, obvious sign that they need protection? You know, inside out about royal security in this country. Is he not at risk when he comes here?
Well, I've studied the attacks on royals, as I've said many times, since 1760. I can assure you the press don't kill you. They may be a pain in the backside. These people who follow them may be a pain, but they don't kill you. What could kill you is to get into a yellow cab driven by a man who you don't know, accompanied not by blocking vehicles. And there's a tried and tested way how you deal. He raises his mother's sad demise. Again, it wasn't protection that killed him.
What about terrorists, though, Dai? What about terrorists? You know, he says that it would be considered a boon for terrorists everywhere to bump off a member of the royal family. Is there not a terror threat against him?
Well, he's reached the grand old age of 40, despite some of his claims about killing people, etc., etc. Again, if you want protection, you should keep a low key and you should have a proper team protecting you. From what I've seen, with open windows, waving and going here, there and everywhere, giving due notice across the world where he is going. If that's your idea of protecting somebody, then it's very different to mine.
Dai, thank you very much, as ever. Dai Davies there, who is a former bigwig when it comes to royal protection. Take care. All the best. Until next time.